Week 27, ELA W, and we're going to get started with today's aim. Let's have somebody read that, please. Thank you, Scarlett. We will be able to identify the resolution of a conflict. We will be able to answer a short response question based on text evidence. So we've already been discussing this concept, just not so formally. We have talked about conflict. So someone remind us, what is conflict? Fernando. Fernando says correctly that conflict is like the trouble in the story. Good. Who can paraphrase that and expand? Thank you, Scarlett. It's the problem of the story. Okay, so what we want to focus on now is conflict resolution. So every story that has a conflict, which is pretty much all stories, also will find a resolution. So for instance, like, think about Augie from Wonder. What was Augie's conflict? And someone raises their hand to say that he was an anomaly. Sure, he was an anomaly. That somebody stretch that answer though. That was an anomaly, so that creates what conflict for him? He's bullied at school. Very good. So Augie is bullied at school. Is that how the story ends? Do we just have conflict and then all of a sudden the story ends as children are throwing rocks at Augie and saying that he's weird? No, that would be a terrible story. Like, we don't want our stories to finish that way. So usually the author will provide, it's not always happy, but we usually find some sort of resolution to our conflict. So in Wonder, you could say that the conflict is Augie is bullied. The resolution, somebody? The resolution is that he makes new friends at the school. Great. How else could you phrase the resolution? Because remember, this isn't black and white. This isn't math. There's no perfect answer here. What else might you view as the resolution to his conflict? He has a fun time on the trip, the field trip. Sure, we could say that that's the resolution of the conflict. What else could you say? That he decides to stay at Beecher Prep. Great, that's good. Oh, that he wins that award. Remember, there's the awards assembly at the end of the story, and he wins that presidential award or whatever it's called. We can see that as the resolution of the conflict. So he's accepted finally by the people. I guess that's the best way we could say is that the conflict is he's bullied. The resolution is he's eventually accepted by his peers. Great. We're going to look at a couple other examples. So turn your attention to page 3 of the Do Now and look at the plot summary under CFU. So let's have somebody read that out loud. Kim was angry at her brother, Brandon, yada yada. Okay, so if that's the summary of the story, and we should be able to find conflict out of it. So what would be the conflict in that? And go ahead, yada yell. Yada yell says the conflict is that Kim's brother is stealing her sandwiches. That's right, and that's a conflict, and that's a problem. So what's the resolution? Kim gets revenge, someone says. Okay, but be specific. What's the resolution? She doesn't just get revenge and that's it. Why? What happens? She puts hot sauce in the sandwiches. Good. And what does that do to her brother? Teaches him a lesson. So he's not going to steal her sandwiches anymore. So in that way, we find resolution to the conflict. Look at the next plot summary about the dog Brady. Let's have someone read that aloud. Thank you, Raquel. Raquel reads about the dog Brady, who leads his owner to these kittens. And what would be the resolution? Raise your hand. Hands down. You've got 30 seconds to write your version of the resolution in the box provided. Go. Wait about 5.
3:40.
3:40. And we're back. 30 seconds is over. So what did you have as the resolution? The narrator decides to adopt the cat and her kittens. Good. Now we're going to try to apply this concept to our reading of White Balloons. So what's the conflict of this story? That Rick is gay, someone says. Okay, again, we got to stretch that answer because it's not just that there's a problem. It's, first of all, being gay isn't a problem. Why is it a problem? Because he is ridiculed by his neighborhood. Good. He's not accepted. Good. He's not tolerated. Good. What's another part of the conflict that Rick experiences? He has HIV. Very good. He has AIDS. And so what we're going to see in today's reading is this conflict is going to finally develop into a resolution of the conflict. Now, here's your forewarning. It's not the happiest of resolutions. But what we are going to see is sort of a finale, a close to the conflict. And so keep your eyes peeled for that as we begin our reading and see.